Good afternoon and welcome to Retail Trends Tuesday. This is our third session in a series of webinars sharing global retail trends and innovations for 2022 and beyond. Every Tuesday for the past few weeks, we've been sharing key themes and innovative case studies. So if you've missed past sessions, make sure to check out our YouTube channel and you can have a peek and see the case studies and some of the themes that we've been talking about. And then again, for the next 3 weeks, we're actually going to be focusing on more themes and case studies. So be sure to sign up for those events as well. So let's get started. So just to introduce myself for those that you may not know me, my name is Lisa Hutchison. I'm the managing partner of JC Williams Group. And today I have two associates joining me. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi there, I'm John Torella, and I'm the branding guy, marketing, communications, and branding. So while Lisa and Graham are going to give you a big picture view, I'm going to get pretty focused through the lens of a marketer.
And my name is Graham Human. I am a research and insights associate here with JC Williams. If you remember me from the first presentation, and I'll be here for some future ones as well.
Excellent.
How's that for a batting order?
Yeah, awesome. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time and maybe just don't know much about JC Williams Group, we are a retail consulting firm based in Toronto. We focus on strategic planning and transformation, and were founded in 1974 by John Williams. We support our clients with custom research and insights, strategic planning, branding and marketing, as well as real estate master planning, operations and human resources, and our unique view of food service. We're also the exclusive Canadian partners of the Ebeltoft Group. And you can see here from the map, we are a global alliance of consulting companies represented in more than 20 mature and emerging countries. And so together the group collaborates on projects, including a project just like this one that we're talking about today, which is our retail trends and innovations. So this year is actually our 17th year that we've been pulling case studies of really cool and innovative retailers and consumer-centric products and services from around the globe. And so really we began as a group tracking this, and we began assembling it into a book and / ebook now. And the retail experts from around the world provide you with some insight as to why these innovations are important and worth noting. So basically, anybody that is not familiar with it, as I mentioned, our team of experts from around the world gather, start tracking all throughout the year, start tracking innovative kind of cases, and we each team submits or nominates, if you will, particular case studies, and then a group adjudicates them, if you will, and then puts them together and curates them to help identify what the themes are, and then shares them in this format. So this year, the process, certainly through 2020 and 2021, we saw a huge amount of innovation as a result of the pandemic. This year, we have 5 key themes that have emerged and that you'll be seeing demonstrated through the case studies. The first one is engagement out of store. The second one, efficiency out of store. The third, engagement in store. The fourth being efficiency in store. And the fifth, still making it onto our roster, is sustainability. So as I mentioned, while we've had key themes every single year, we've actually identified that because of everything changing, we needed to reevaluate how the themes were organized. And so you can see here, We have differentiated with the out-of-store experience and the in-store experience and created this matrix. The other thing that we recognize is that no one case study fits just in one bucket. And so what you'll notice is that within each of the case studies, we've actually ranked them on a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being low and 5 being high, in how each of the cases tackles each of the innovations. So you'll see that in the book. Today, we're going to actually do that deep dive into engagement in store, and we have 10 case studies to share with you today. There are a lot, and we've curated and brought it down to 10 case studies. And you can see some of the things that take place within engagement in store. So there is that idea of creating fans and community building, the personalization, entertainment and events, brand storytelling and alignment with the in-store design, gamification, the services, as well as the people aspect, having those experts available to provide the advice on products and services. So John's going to tell us a little bit about our first case study.
Well, it's called Drinks and Company. And from a marketer and a brand guy, this is really exciting because Pernod and Ricard, many of you will recognize that name. They're a global provider of wines, beers, and spirits all over the world, certainly in Canada. They've got major operations in the United States, in China, and certainly in France and in Paris. And this is where Drinks and Company comes to life. Why it's so interesting to me is it's a vivid example of brands going retail, going direct to the consumer, looking for that personal experience, that one-on-one. And boy, is this ever a beautiful example of it. So it's a restaurant, it's a bar, it's an event center, it's a place to meet and see and be seen. At night, it opens up and it becomes very social. A really interesting point is that you can test, try, sample before you buy. And I think that's pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. So look for this concept direct to the consumer by national brands more and more. Another interesting one, and Don's Kitchen and Market in Chicago, again, reflecting a much bigger theme in terms of grocery and fine foods. And I think that theme is part of really a convenience revolution. That's what I'm calling it, because it's this fixation that the consumer has to make it easy and delightful. So sure, I want the product, but I also want that experience. And if that experience can be personalized and customized, if it can be emotional, and remember that emotion triggers action. And so where you have, whether it's the visual excitement that creates the emotion, whether it's the interaction with the staff, whether it's the graphics, whether it's the use of technology, all of these elements are creating what I'm calling this deep emotional experience, which is lasting and action-oriented.
So the next concept is pick-me-ups. And pick-me-ups is right here in Toronto. We were excited to nominate this case study. Pick-me-ups is a really unique concept. It is a post-to-pay pop-up store in Toronto's Queen West neighborhood. And what does that mean? It means there's no currency. Simply if you posted on TikTok or Instagram, that was how the transaction would take place. So you could you can actually follow them still at Milk Up Ontario on Instagram to enter the store. And you basically were posting about the product or about the brand to be able to receive the product. There was live events in store, exclusive products, huge lineups. It was really created a buzz in downtown Toronto. It had various vendors. It had event space for local artists and musicians. So as I said, you had to just follow them on either TikTok or Instagram to be able to even enter the store. And there was things like tote bags and nail art, food. And the really interesting thing about this was, it was put on by the Milk Board. So a really interesting way to get the brand out there and create more awareness. So really cool concept. And, again, kudos to the dairy farmers of Ontario to come up with a really interesting test like this. Some really great takeaways.
Great graphics. Visually exciting.
Some fun products. This next one I really love as well, Sally's Welt flagship store. So Sally Ozcan is one of the most successful German bakers. She's a blogger. She has 1.6 million subscribers to her YouTube channel. And basically she's opened a flagship store that sells Sally's products. And so 70% of it is private label with just the Sally's logo on it, but she also has partnerships with KitchenAid and Kenwood. So anything about your home. And so she's opened this in March of 2020. It was her first brick and mortar store in Germany. And it's really just an extension of her already well-known blogging brand. So you can see all these things are endorsed where she's using on her cooking show, and makes it very accessible and, a way for her to engage further with her followers. There's Sally herself. Love this concept.
Yeah. And the kitchen is her exact kitchen from her home that she was using to film all of them. So there's a great Instagram opportunity, definitely, for a lot of
for followers,
people.
for sure. Yeah.
So this next case is really, really exciting for me. It's called Souk Space. It's in the UK. It's a rental agency that was founded during 2020, during the kind of height of the pandemic there. And it allows any retailer to rent high street space by the hour. So the agency transforms these empty spaces into digitally enhanced adaptive pop-ups, essentially. So it removes all these inefficiencies of retailers needing to fit out their own pop-up space, and it saves them a lot of time and money through that process. The concept is really cool because it allows you to rent when it's most profitable. So that means that if a store typically does better during 9 to 5, then they would be able to rent during these hours. And if a store does better in the evenings or on the weekend, then they can actually rent there the same space, and it's easily transferable between the two. It also, the rental agency will work with these smaller businesses to try to find when that sweet spot is for you to rent, and try to help you find the best location as well based on your product range. So the website itself, where you do all the booking and the payment and everything, also will give you 3D renderings of the space which allows you to try to figure out how it's going to work best for your product selection for your needs. And then as you can see in the imagery, there's these digital windows throughout that allow you to fully customize the space with your branding, with your advertising, and allows it to be fully running during the entire time that you're there. So this is a really cool idea from a sustainability perspective, because it also allows you to share these rental spaces and not have to build these new locations, and only be open when is best for your business. And these short-term spaces are really trendy right now. A lot of shopping centers are trying to look at how to get people in for short periods of time and get on these short-term leases. And something like this, where you already have the build out, makes it so much easier for these small businesses to remain profitable, but also to get a really, really cool digitally enhanced space. There's going to be a video here that's just going to show you how quickly they can really get fitted, how long the fit outs take for the store. You can see here, they have a whole team that comes in and does the entire fit out.
It's pretty amazing how quickly they can get this up.
Mm-hmm.
All modular.
Exactly.
I think this really works for gift giving times of the year.
For sure.
I mean,
pop-ups.
it's going to be really evident.
Very cool.
And all the spaces, as you can see, are, like Lisa said, modular. So if you have a different need for the amount of space or a different need for the shelving, that's completely up to you. You can change it to best suit your needs.
Very cool.
So this is an interesting concept. It's a fashion retailer in Copenhagen. And why it's so intriguing to me is that it's really demonstrating this theme that we're seeing more and more in retail, purpose-driven. So purpose, people, profits. And what this does is it gives the consumer an opportunity to see the product being developed, being manufactured, seeing the attention to detail, seeing the care. And hopefully what that's going to do is create the same kind of care for you with the product, the sustainability of it. I think this concept will be a roadmap for many, many retailers. And I think Canadian retailers are grasping also onto this concept. So look for purpose-driven more and more in the retail scene.
Very, very true. I totally agree with you. We've been seeing it, but we're seeing it more and more and more.
I think particularly with young people, you know, the planet's in danger and you know, it's at risk and we got to do something about it.
Mhm.
And having just a high quality product, minimal colors with your wardrobe makes it just a lot last seasons and seasons, right?
House of Schwarzkopf. So many of you may know Schwarzkopf as a hair beauty brand, mostly just a direct-to-consumer, you know, something that you would have seen on the shelf in a pharmacy or a drugstore. Well, it opened its first flagship store in October 21 in Germany called House of Schwarzkopf. And this store is really about engaging with the brand. It is a meeting place, a learning space, experiential and inspirational. And so you can see there's many personalization elements in terms of fragrance. So you've got at the bottom, the fragrance table that you can do that. It's got a mirror their magic mirror, they call it, with this technology that you can test hair color in this sort of unique selfie perspective. So it's really to take that experiential element and bring it in store. So anything and it links offline as well as in-store experiences. So there's all these ways that the brand can interact with its customer. So it really is about this experience, customers and visitors into this whole new way that they can engage with the brand. It's very personalized and it's very enriched. And I think it's a really cool experience.
So this next concept is really, really interesting. So JD, which is a Chinese retailer, e-retailer, similar to Amazon, just opened its own mall in Xi'an, which is a northwest city in China, which has over 7 million inhabitants, actually. So this mall is designed to offer this multi-store experience to customers, but all remaining within the ecosystem of JD themselves. It's over 450,000 square feet and 5 full floors. They're known for their consumer electronics and appliances with over 150 name brand appliances found in the store and over 200,000 SKUs total. So really, really big product selection found at this mall. There's 11 themed areas. So each area has its own specific theme, as you can see here with the Intel area as well. And then there's 29 interactive experiences that allows customers to interact with each of those products that before would only have been seen online. So this company JD really does have unmatched logistics, even to an Amazon standard. They're way ahead. This mall gives, and JD themselves, a 2-hour delivery window after you order, which is even faster, obviously, than Prime. And then it gives also a 24-hour installation service, which is unbelievable that they can have someone there so quickly. And it is worth noting that this infrastructure that they've built is 1,300 warehouses. So it's really spread out across China, which helps guarantee that amount of time. It's a really interesting idea that it's this digitally native brand. We're seeing this more and more of them moving into physical retail. I know Amazon just shut some stores, but a lot of these digitally native brands are seeing this value in physical space. And this idea that they have this infrastructure set up to give a 2-hour delivery really is next level when it comes to convenience. Also, a lot of the reason that this is possible is because of their investment into robotics, not just in the store as well, but in the warehouses. A lot of the time with their distribution centers, the first person to actually touch product is the delivery driver when he's bringing it out to the home. So we'll see a quick video here of the inside of the mall and some of their really interesting tech integration that they've done as well. So you can see some of those themed areas there.
Very cool.
So Lego, who doesn't know Lego? This great international brand. Another example here, though, of brands going retail. of brands going direct to the consumer. So here's their flagship store in Barcelona. If you've been to Barcelona, it's an endearing city and lovely walking, visiting. And what they've done is try to recreate that environment, a simpatico with the feelings of Barcelona. And what's really interesting in the store as you go through it, and you look at the customer mix, it's not just kids. You know, grandma's there, dad's there. And what's fascinating is, sure, the product's all there and it's all boxed, but you can also play with the product. You can have fun with it. You can experiment with it. This is pretty exciting in terms of bringing a brand to life, creating a personality about it. You know, brands are about unique differentiation, and Lego sure got it. It's about distinctiveness. In other words, how do you visually, verbally bring it to life? And boy, there it is. And then how do you make it relevant to today's new norms, the new realities, the new families? And then lastly, how do you make it sustainable? Tick off every one of those boxes. This is certainly world class.
I mean, it's really a brand that could have gone away, you know, and being written off as old school. And yet, you know, because they've kept it fresh and exciting and taken it to a whole new level, it's so exciting to see.
It really is, right on.
And we're coming to the end with Mercato Centrale. And this is from Milan. And it's a concept, it's essentially a, you know, a totally new look at a food court. This particular one is located in a train station, and it has 29 kiosks, mostly very focused on regional foods, with one space devoted to foreign food experiences. It's got a fish market, organic market, florists. It's got cooking schools, events, all distributed throughout the market space. And so it also has an app that allows you to order from any one of the spaces on your phone, and then you can pick it up while you're on the go. So I think it's really cool because it focuses on high quality, small, independent restaurants, or merchants, I should say. And it's just this whole idea of restaurant and retail intermixed. And so, you know, really, it's really revamped the train station itself, as well as brought in a new sense of community in the neighborhood. So just really, really cool. I think it is something that not only train stations, but communities can see this kind of gathering into a centralized place for the community to gather. So I think it is a really cool new look at, you know, bringing a food court together with this idea of regional and independent merchants coming together.
Community is a big theme. And it's really going to be, I think, manifest itself more and more through COVID. So I live there, I work there, my kids go to school there, I eat there, I shop there. Community, a whole new meaning to it.
I know the vendor, I know the merchant.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big piece of it as well, as supporting those that are local in your
They
community.
know what I
as well.
name, they know what I like, they know what I don't like.
Mhm. So that brings us to the end of this presentation. We hope that you will want to download the book. You can use the QR code. You can also visit any of our social media to be able to download your free copy. Next week, I hope you'll join us for our next session, where we're going to look at efficiency out of store. And certainly we invite you to follow me on Instagram, link in with any one of us. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks all.
Thanks,
Have a great
everyone.
day.